Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Let's continue on doing the stock buy and sell problem series. So in this video, we're going to look at problem 123, best time to buy and sell stock 3. So we have solved problem 188, 121, 122. So here, the problem 123 is the fourth video in this series. So actually, as we mentioned when we do problem 188, this series of problems are characterized by the following two things. One is the allowed number of transactions key, and another constraints. So for example, in 188, the key is generic, and in 121, key equals 1. And in 122, key can be regarded as infinity. So in this problem, key is 2. So actually we have also another two problems, that is problem 309 and 714. So as we mentioned before, so once we solved problem 188, so we can easily solve all the others in the above list very easily. So let's mention the connection again. So here, Leetcode 123 is a special case of Leetcode 188 with key being 2. So in other words, the maximum allowed transactions is 2, as specified here. So actually we could replace key equals 2 in the code for Leetcode 188. Here, let's review the analysis to refresh. So let's see the method we're going to use in this series of videos is dynamic programming. So let's use a generic key to explain the general logic again. So the step 1 is to identify the possible actions at each day. So we could choose to buy, sell, or do nothing. In other words, we rest. So at a special day, so if we have stocks, so we could choose to sell or rest. If we do not have stock, so we could consider buy or rest. So for convenience of writing the DP table, so we are going to use one indexing for the days or prices. For example, the ith day is corresponding to index I-1 in prices. So this is actually the convenience is that it's easier to do initialization. So this is the step 1. So we realize the possible actions at each day depending on if we hold stock or not. So step 2 is DP interpretation and initialization. So here we're going to use essentially a 3-dimensional DP table. So here I'm going to use TIKG. So G can be 0 or 1. So 0 indicates that at the end of the ith day we do not have a stock at hand, and 1 indicates that we have stock at hand. So here the index I, the first index, is the day, so the ith day, right? And the k is the allowed number of transactions. So here the TIK0 means that the maximum profit at the end of the ith day with at most k transactions and with no stock at hand after taking possible actions. So the interpretation for TIK1 is the maximum profit at the end of ith day with at most k transactions and with stock at hand after taking possible actions. So this is the DP interpretation. So it's also important to do the proper initializations. So we are going to consider two cases. First is no stock. In other words, I equals 0. Notice that the days start from the first day, second day, right? So if we have 0th day, so in other words, we do not have stock yet. So in this case, for any k, so T0 K0 would be set being 0. The reason is that we have no stock, and we result with no stock, so it's 0. And T0 K1, I will set it to be negative infinity. So we have no stock, but we end with stock. So actually we can think of this situation as the following. At no stock, but when indicates with stock. So here we can regard that we had bought a very expensive stock from nothing. In other words, no stock. So this is the first part of the initialization. The second part is no transaction case. So in this case, for an arbitrary I, so we are going to set Ti00 to be 0. The reason is that we end with no stock, right? So because we have no transactions, so we have no stock, that's a normal state, so it's 0. So other case, that is Ti01. So we have no transaction, but we end with stock. So we set this case to be negative infinity. So we can understand or interpret as the following. As no transaction happens, so but when indicates we have stock at hand. So we could regard that we had bought a very expensive stock from nothing. So here nothing means no transaction. So with the DP interpretation and initialization, then we can iterate to update the DP table. That's step 3. So DP update or recursion relation. So at I state, so here we would like to emphasize again. So we are using van indexing for the days or for the prices in the prices list. So in other words, here I is begin at 1 and ending at n, not begin at 0 and ending at n-1. So this is just for convenience. So here let's first look at the equation star. So TIK0, in other words, the maximum profit at the end of day I if we end with no stock. So this can have two sources of possibilities. First is that so at the I-1 day we do not hold stock, and then we just choose to rest or do nothing at day I. So this is the first term in the max argument. And then the second possibility is that at the day I-1 we do have stock, and then we can sell that stock at day I so that we can gain some profit. The profit is given by prices I-1, right? So here Ti-1 K1 means that we have stock at I-1 day, and because we sell stock does not selling stock does not initialize a new transaction. So here the allowed transaction number is still K. So in other words, in a high level, so this is the max of the rest or sell. So rest and sell are the possible operations or actions at day I. This is equation star. And equation double star is the update for TIK1. In other words, the maximum profit at the end of day I if we hold stock. So in this case, so it's two possibilities again. So there are two possibilities again. First, at the end of day I-1, we have stock, so we choose to rest and day I. So in this case, this is Ti-1. So the allowed operation is still K. So this last index is 1, indicating we have stock at the I-1. So this is one possibility. Another possibility is that we do not have stock and I-1 day. So we are going to buy one stock at the I. So this operation is buy. So here, because we buy stock, so we are going to pay some price. So the profit is decreased by negative of prices I-1. So here prices I-1 is the SD price, right? So Ti-1, so that's the I-1 day. But here K-1. The reason we use K-1 is that because we buy new stock, so which triggers a new transaction. So in the previous day, the maximum number of allowed transactions is K-1. In other words, we count this -1 as here, right? So 0 indicates that at the end of the I-1 day, we do not hold stock. This is the reason that we can consider to buy stock. So this is the equation double star. So roughly it's the max of the two operations. Either we rest at the I, or we do not have a stock at the previous day and we choose to buy at this day. This is the two equations. So here it explains again why we choose k-1 in the second equation, double star. The reason is that a transaction is a buy-sell process. Notice that in the second item in the max function in double star, so the index is k-1 because new transaction happens when we buy. So we actually have explained that. So this is an emphasis. So with the DP update done, so we can actually do the return. So in general, for general key, we are going to return t n. N is the length of the prices, and the k is the maximum allowed transaction number. 0 is the state. Because we want to maximize the profit, we should always clear all the stock at hand. So in this problem here, so we're going to return tn20 because capital K is 2, right, in this problem. So with that said, actually we're going to write the code, and the code actually is identical with problem 188, but the K is changed to be 2. So in order to align with the general flow, I'm going to write in a format mimic problem 188. So here the maximal transactions allowed is 2. So k equals 2. So with that said, let's first do the initialization, right? So for the initialization, first I'm going to track the length of prices. So, and then we're going to make a 3-dimensional DP table. Let's call it capital T. So it contains n-1 matrix. The matrix inside is it's 3 times 2 because 3 is the k plus 1, 2 is the 0 and 1. So let's write like this. So 0. So 0 times 2, that's the column of the inner matrix for a dominant index in range. Let's write k just for to you. Let's write this also k. So 3, and then we're going to use for I, or just for dummy, in range m plus 1. Right. So let's first print the dimension of t so that we can make sure, check if we are right. So this is length of t, so it should be the length of the prices plus 1, and then length of t naught, it should be the length of k plus 1. So in this problem is 3, and length of t naught naught, so this should be 2. So let's print this. So in this example, so we have 8, this is the length, so 8 plus 1 is 9, right? We have k equals 2, so k plus 1 is 3, so we have 2. That's right? So with that done, let's delete this part. And for the initialization, we're going to consider 2 situations. First is that we can consider no stock case. In other words, at day 0, right? Again, so we are using one indexing for the days. So days start from the first day. So at day 0, so what we're going to do, we set for all the k's. So for k in range 3, and then so t naught the 0th day, right? K 0. So if we do not have stock ending at this day, so we're going to set it to be 0. So this is a normal state. And then we're going to set t0, k, and 1. So this is to be float negative infinity. So we can interpret that we bought a very expensive stock. So this is one case. Another case is no transaction. So no transaction, the preferred state is that we do not have hold stock, right? So for I in range m plus 1, so we are going to set t I, so 0 0 means no transaction. If we do not have stock, this is normal, so we have 0. Otherwise, so ti 0, 1. So we're going to set it to be negative infinity. So with that done, so we finished the initialization. So the next step is DP update. So this is actually a recursion relation, right? Or like the number sequence in mathematics. So for this, because we have set the I equals 0 and k equals 0, then we're going to do for I in range 1 up to n. So we write n plus 1. And for k in range 1 and 2, so we write 1 to 3 in the end. And then we're going to do the update. First we update tik0. So in this case, so there are two possibilities, right? Either at the previous day and end of the previous day we do not have stock, so we choose to rest or do nothing at day I. So this is the first term in the max function. And then we are going to do another thing, that is at the end of day 1, I-1, we have a stock. And then at this day we are going to sell the stock. So if we sell stock, so we're going to gain something, right? That is prices I-1. Notice that we are using indexing from 1 to n. So the ith day has price like this. So this is the update for tik0. So now let's update for tik1. For this one, again, it has two states. So one is ti minus 1 and k1. In other words, we do nothing at day I, and at the end of I minus 1 day, we hold stock. Or at the end of day I minus 1, so we do not hold stock. So in this case, we can choose to buy a stock. So if we buy, actually, we pay some prices. So this is the price we say. So we have negative. But here, if we buy a new stock, so we initialize a new transaction. So here, in the previous day, I-1, the maximum allowed transactions is k-1. So this part is a subtle detail that's very important. So with that done, so we actually finished the DP update. And next, what we are going to do is just return the result. So here we're going to return t. So let's just write -1. So actually m. So here k is 2, right? So just write this one. So this is actually a full solution to this problem. So let's first do a check. Yeah, it passes the first example. Now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes all the generic cases. So it's run slow. Let's test again. So anyway, so that's about it for this specific problem. So here actually we follow the general idea for doing problem 188. So in this video we reviewed the process again. So please look at the follow-up videos for another two problems following the same method. That is problem 309, problem 714. So with that said, I guess that's about it for this video. Thank you.